You ain't nothing but a hound dog, you're crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
You know, the king is in the house, but the king is content for your website. I could get into, you ain't nothing but a dead blog.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm leaving the building now.
All right. Well, let's get in. This is Edge of the Web Radio. If this is your first time hearing our show, this is Aaron Sparks and John Thompson from Site Strategics.
That's right.
We're actually talking about inbound marketing and how we actually improve the visibility of websites and improve lead generation for websites. And we're a specialty shop that provides these type of services at a subscription level. We actually build a number of different value adds to your website on an ongoing basis to make an argument towards Google as well as social media that you're an expert in your field. We even write content and talk on your behalf about how good you are in your field to get those leads and get those phones ringing. So, if you ever want to talk to us, we are always wanting to sit down and talk to companies and provide them with a roadmap to success. You can always reach us at 877-736-4932 or spell it out, 877-SEO for web. You can find us online at sitestrategics.com. Give us a shout. You can also fill out right there on the sidebar of our website. You can even give us some keywords that you'd like us to have a look at your site with. We'll even score your site to give you a little bit of an idea of how we see it and how Google sees it, right?
That's right.
So we're talking about one of the biggest things. There's a lot of different philosophies in SEO, in search engine optimization. And I come from I've been doing this for about 22 years, and I actually won't go into how long I've been developing websites, but it's been a long time. One of the things that I always focused on that always comes back to for success is good content on a website. Okay, there's no end around it, and we get into site structure and how to actually build a good argument towards Google, and this is very apparent as things have happened in search engine. Algorithms for search engines are changing all the time. There are a lot of big changes this year, and it all still gets back down to the quality of your content on your website, right?
That's right. Obviously Google's having to correct this because the market's getting bigger. More companies are getting onto Google. More companies are creating their own websites, and it's having to become they're having to weed out these sites that have taken advantage of, let's just build links and have crappy content, and they're having to weed these guys out to actually just help promote some good results because that's their job. So content obviously is one of those things that you can't really fake, and that we go into that on another article, but before that, just the article, it's by Search Engine Journal. It's called Stop Selling SEO Short.
Absolutely.
Just goes into, over the last year, many debates have raged about whether SEOs should start referring to themselves as inbound marketers or a number of other broader disciplines.
Right.
He goes on to talk about his frustrations about this, and the clear truth that has emerged that the only way to consistently win at SEO today is over the long run is to create a high quality content. That's just there's no different philosophy on this. You have to create good content.
That's right. That's right.
I don't care where you go.
And the best thing is, it's not cheap to do that. Okay, you can't. The time is gone where you could buy articles and get them written for very, very cheap, or subscribe to an article writing service where you're not really paying for good quality.
Right.
That's been gamed, and the engines got wise to it, and they've penalized people that actually had that content on their website to various degrees.
That's right.
Okay, and link farms and getting content surrounding that you didn't really write. I mean, the game's up. Marketers, you have to write good content.
Creating high-quality content, topically focused content, increases your traffic from social media, community and audience growth. It increases traffic and link popularity from referral sites, higher customer engagement, and user statistics, increased newsletter and internal blog subscriptions,
Yep.
more conversions, increased brand recognition and advocacy. That's the why you need good content. The new analytics paradigm is the value of SEO campaigns must be measured differently. It's no longer just, hey, we need to get that fathead two-word phrase on the top page, and that's going to ring the registers. We're going to have so much success for that. That's not what it's all about.
Let me talk to that. That trophy word that a lot of business owners have. I got to get to the top of this phrase, right? That is no longer the true measure of success.
Right.
It's, I can have 2 or 3 words at the top and have nothing else. And if those 2 or 3 words are generic enough, my bounces are going to be higher. That's when people are coming to your site and not going deeper in. You're not who they're looking for, but because you're in that spot, you're getting a wealth of traffic, but nothing of any permanence.
So you're saying that 1 million searches on, let's say, the keyword Jaguar, not everybody wants to buy the car?
That's right. You know what?
Okay.
They're talking about the little beasties in the woods,
No,
right?
okay. That makes sense.
Little stuffed animals, And, the doors pet that Jaguar. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm going down the rabbit hole.
Author rank is critical.
Yeah.
Right? That's the third one in this article. Google
Yep.
has already begun to consider that the authors of content as a ranking factor. So basically, author rank is would it be a replacement of the page rank, which is a grade of the quality of a page.
Right.
But it would be used to inform page rank, therefore enabling Google to rank high-quality content more appropriately. People want to read content written by credible and knowledgeable people,
Boom,
and
there
using
it is,
author
yeah.
rank, a major part of that search out. Yeah, it just makes sense.
We actually talked about this last show, is how to set up your author rank. If you got a blog, you need to register your authorship with your Google Plus profile.
That's right.
And Google's actually kind of reinforcing or forcing that type of that acceptance of the Google Plus environment, the social media realm, because it's Google.
That's
but
right.
they're now passing value based on your lack of anonymity when you write content. So now that we know who you are as a Google profile, we can now attribute that you're going to be writing in this particular vertical space. So no longer can you as a content writer write about a bunch of different things that they really don't have that type of,
What happens when you switch a job?
when you switch a job.
Yeah.
That's interesting
Yeah.
because what you were writing about in one capacity, maybe you're in a whole different industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a tight corner for Google. It really is. But we actually wrote about how to actually set up your authorship connection to Google. So download the podcast or check us out online.
Absolutely.
Be able to look through all that.
Next
Excellent.
article.
Yep, absolutely. So the point is that SEO content is still king, and things have shifted on how to actually measure correctly, and the success metrics are no longer the success metrics of 10 years ago or 5 years ago. It's this convoluted connection of communication that you have with prospects and customers, and you got to write good content that are unique selling propositions that can convey and bring people deeper into your website. Right?
That's right.
So, what we're talking about here is the demand for extreme differentiation. Is that what we're talking about here?
In your content strategy.
Absolutely.
This is by Search Engine Watch, by the way. And you can also find this at edgeofthewebradio.com.
Oh, this is like so in my wheelhouse. It's like a steak with potatoes, man. Point is that content is king, and you can't just let me back up. There's a Panda update that happened. They nickname it Different Animals. And it was back in February. There's other updates earlier than that, but it was a big smackdown on people that were writing almost exactly the same content and blossoming out their entire site into a lot of different pages, almost writing exactly the same thing on every page and getting a lot of different positions out there. But they got smacked down because it was almost the same thing. A lot of times they were mirroring content exactly on their other pages, and they got penalized from Google because of that.
Right.
All right, so now we're in a realm of diversity of content to the degree where Google is actually pushing back, and they want information that's not just changing up of wordsmithing to get a little bit different search engine results. They want clear silos of information that are unique, that are descriptive, and then on top of that, not nearly as connected to the different areas of service that you've got. So
Right.
what I'm saying here is the branches of a tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got some deep, solid branches. They don't want every one of these leaves looking the same. They want every one of these branches looking the same from content. They want tell the story differently, tell different services differently, and how they interact with each other.
That's right.
Any comments about this article besides because I just went off range there?
Yeah, no. That's all right. Basically, he talks about in the article that there's three domains that cover the exact same topic, but they're worded differently. They're not duplicate content, but they're not telling you anything different or anything new.
Right.
Matt Cutts, he's a spokesman for Google. He talks about what's going on. He replies to this guy. He says, that's absolutely right. Those other sites are not bringing any additional value. They don't have duplicate content, but they're not bringing anything new to the table. It's not that there's anything wrong with what these people have done, but they should not expect this type of content to rank. So the point is that if you've got a mortgage company, and you're trying to write the top 10 mortgage tips that every other mortgage company has on their website, it might be that you need to do this to complete your website to showcase those tips.
Right.
But the thing is, you're not bringing any new information. So they're looking at that and they're saying, don't expect this to help your site because you're not bringing anything new. Even though it's new to your website, it's not new information. So they're trying to tell you that you need to create a differentiating factor in the top 10.
No, and it makes common sense. It makes actually perfect sense of how you'd be writing and making a particular argument. If I'm talking to you as a consumer, here's my service over here, I'll embellish about this service, and
Right.
then I'll go over here and embellish about this service, right?
Right.
Well, that's what Google's looking for in how your dialogue is on your website.
Right.
So again, back to the gaming that people have been doing for a while, you have to be very mindful of how you're actually broaching your services and information, right?
In fact, we're going to talk a little bit more about that content. We're going to be covering what is evergreen content.
Evergreen content, that's kind of...
Al Gore invented it.
And you hang it up in your car, don't you? All right, we'll be right
You got to
back.
break it so the smell will come.
This is Edge of the Web Radio. We'll talk to you very soon. Check on back.